as a caveat before we get started, it should be noted that Christians believe that Jesus Christ provided us with an avalanche of evidence. Thousands of people witnessing miracles, curing the lame, the blind, raising people from the dead, resurrecting from the dead himself, controlling nature, walking on water, the list goes on and on. But clearly, if you don't believe in God, then you don't believe in Christ. So we have to start from scratch. But you know that this is one of the great downsides of our modern world, and all of its disposable technology, right? It's the idea that if we can't dissect something, if we can't cut it open and see its inner workings, if we can't measure it or study it in some quantifiable scientific way, then it's not real or somehow not worth knowing. If we can't Google search it or download it to our iPhones, then it's just trivial nonsense or medieval hocus pocus. But the fundamental truth is there are plenty of things that are very real that can't be poured into a chemistry beaker or plotted onto a bar graph or a pie chart. Take love, for example. I doubt you would find anyone who would claim that love is not real because we can't hold it in our hands or expound on it in a textbook. Love and all the truth contained in it is unknowable in an academic sense. Scholastics cannot teach you love. Love is not something that can be verbalized and explained. It can only be experienced. That's all. It's much the same way with God. You don't find God, God finds you. You don't figure God out or connect the dots with your human reason and intellect. God reveals himself to you. He lifts the veil. Then the great event horizon unfolds before you, but it's a vision that cannot be seen with your eyes, but rather with your heart. I hear people ask all the time, if God is so advanced, why doesn't he just explain himself to us? Well, you're more advanced than a cockroach. Have you ever tried to explain yourself to one? Well, of course not. That would be a ridiculous waste of time, wouldn't it? Not only would the cockroach not understand anything you were trying to say, but it would be totally unaware that you were attempting to communicate at all. A cockroach is so very myopic in its worldview, it only sees what is directly in front of it. But that doesn't mean you're not real. It simply means that the cockroach does not possess the necessary faculties to engage or correspond with a higher ordered creature like a human being. Don't you think this pattern would kind of hold true with our relationship with God as well? Wouldn't we be infinitely small and nearsighted when it comes to recognizing an encounter with the creator force of the cosmos? Wouldn't we be just as hapless and unenlightened as the cockroach? People ask, where God is. Well, maybe he's all around you. Perhaps in some way, he's everything you've ever known. You're just so chained to the physicality of your human existence and your demand for proof that you can't see the forest for all the trees. There's a quote from Thomas Aquinas that I've always loved. I'm paraphrasing a bit here, but it goes something like this. For those who believe in God, no evidence is necessary. For those who do not believe in God, no evidence is possible. If you meditate on this statement long enough, it begins to make sense. It comes into focus. If you close yourself off and lower your antennas and refuse to believe in anything that's not directly in front of your path, you'll find yourself much like the cockroach, senselessly crawling through your life in a desperate search for crumbs and debris, thinking that they will somehow satisfy you, when the only thing that can truly satisfy you is a return to the very creator source from which you came.